Let's get right into it. Number 10. Bank overdraft and hidden fee mazes. You check your balance in the morning. It says $40. You buy coffee, gas, and lunch, each one small, each one reasonable. By evening, your bank has hit you with 3 separate $35 overdraft fees. That's $105 in fees for spending money you thought you had. Here's the part banks don't advertise. Most banks don't process your transactions in the order you actually made them. They process the largest transaction first. Not because it's fair, because it's profitable. If you spend $5, then $3, then your $200 rent check clears. The bank quietly reorders the whole day. Rent goes first. Suddenly, your small purchases bounce one after another, and each bounce is its own separate fee. A 2010 study found this single practice, known as high-to-low reordering, generated over $1 billion annually across the banking industry. Banks called it a processing preference. Regulators called it deceptive enough to trigger lawsuits. Some banks paid hundreds of millions of dollars in settlements and quietly kept doing versions of it anyway, just buried deeper in the fine print. Customers rarely notice because the fees show up individually, spaced out, easy to blame on themselves. Your bank isn't confused about math. It's optimized for it, down to the order transactions hit your account. Number 9. Costco's electronics return policy. Costco used to let you return a television years after you bought it. No receipt drama, no expiration date, no questions that felt like an interrogation. For a long time, people were reasonable about it. Then Costco noticed a strange seasonal pattern. Every year, right after the Super Bowl, a wave of massive flat-screen televisions came back through the doors, several of them smelling faintly of buffalo wings and regret. One had visible nacho cheese lodged in the seams, as if someone had used a 70-inch screen as a serving tray. People were also doing it with laptops, buying one for a work trip, using it for 2 weeks, then returning it because it didn't meet expectations. Costco wasn't confused about what was happening. In 2007, they quietly capped electronics returns at 90 days. Still generous by any normal retail standard, but the infinite window was gone for good. The guy trying to return a 75-inch TV 2 football seasons later was suddenly out of luck, and so was everyone else who'd been treating the return counter like a free rental desk. Number 8. Streaming, password sharing, Crackdown. For years, one subscription quietly covered your whole extended family. Parents, siblings, a cousin, 2 states away, all riding on a single login nobody thought twice about. Then the platforms did the math on how many households were splitting one bill and decided the honor system had run its course. They started asking you to verify your home network periodically. Enter a code sent to a device you don't have with you. Suddenly, the account that worked perfectly fine for 6 straight years gets locked out mid-episode, right at the cliffhanger. This isn't a technical glitch. It's friction engineered on purpose, calibrated to be just annoying enough that paying for a second account starts to feel easier than fighting the system. Some platforms rolled out an extra member add-on fee instead, letting you keep sharing officially for a price that conveniently approaches a second full subscription. The verification codes, the network checks, the sudden login walls, none of it is about security. It's about converting free riders into paying customers without technically forcing anyone to do anything, just making the free option quietly unbearable. Number 7. L.L.Bean's Unconditional Returns. L.L.Bean had a return policy that sounded almost fictional. Return anything, forever, no questions asked. Buy a jacket in 1987, wear it until it looks like it survived a war, and bring it back decades later for a full refund. For years, the system worked because most customers were reasonable. Then the internet found the loophole. People started hitting thrift stores, buying decades-old L.L.Bean gear for a single dollar, and walking into stores demanding full modern retail refunds. Customers returned boots with the soles completely gone, structurally no longer boots, more like the memory of boots. Others cleared out dead relatives' closets, specifically hunting for flannel to cash in. By 2018, the company had enough. They announced a strict 1-year return window, and the internet reacted like L.L.Bean had personally betrayed them. The founder's great-granddaughter, running the company at the time, said the abuse was costing tens of millions of dollars every single year. 1 year is still generous by most retail standards. It just isn't generous enough for people who'd spent years treating the return desk like a personal ATM machine. Number 6. Software subscription lock-in. You used to buy software once, pay a single price, install it, and it was yours, forever. no strings attached. Now, nearly every major program has quietly shifted to a subscription model, where you don't own anything, you just rent access for as long as you keep paying. Stop paying, and the software doesn't just stop updating, it often stops working entirely. Some programs lock you out of your own previously created files unless you keep the subscription active, meaning years of your own work becomes hostage to a monthly fee. Companies frame this as continuous updates and cloud integration, but the real function is recurring revenue that never stops. A single purchase used to be a one-time transaction. Now it's a permanent monthly line item you forget about until your card gets declined and years of documents suddenly become unreadable. Cancellation fees add another layer, penalizing you for trying to leave a service you already paid into for years. The old model let you own a tool. The new model rents you access to your own work and quietly reminds you who's really in control every time a payment fails. Number 5. GameStop's open box return policy. GameStop once had a return policy so loose it was basically an invitation. Buy any new game, open it, play it all weekend, and return it within a week for a full refund, no questions asked. It took gamers about 5 minutes to realize this was a free rental service disguised as a store policy. Buy the game Friday night, finish all 60 hours of it by Sunday, return it Monday morning with a straight face. Reddit threads and YouTube videos turned it into a documented strategy, shared openly, repeated weekly by thousands of people. GameStop eventually looked at their return numbers and realized they'd accidentally built the least efficient video game rental store in history, one where they were the only ones losing money, so they killed it. Full refunds quietly became store credit only, then came resale grading, a system that ends with an employee offering you $4 for a game you paid $70 for the week before. The open book honesty of the old policy is gone, replaced by a system explicitly designed to punish exactly the behavior it used to reward. Number 4. McDonald's self-serve soda machines. For decades, McDonald's let you walk up to a soda fountain and pour whatever you wanted, unlimited refills, completely unsupervised, just you, a cup, and the entire lineup of flavors. It ran entirely on the honor system, and predictably, people failed it in spectacular fashion. Customers started smuggling in containers from home, not modest ones either, actual soup bowls and gallon buckets. One person got caught refilling a big gulp cup he'd been saving from a completely different chain for this exact purpose. Others would order the cheapest 25-cent water cup and quietly fill it with soda instead. McDonald's knew this was happening constantly, but stopping it without turning every drink order into a security pat-down felt impossible. So instead of confrontation, they chose removal. Locations have been quietly phasing the machines out for years, and by 2032, the company plans to eliminate self-serve fountains from every U.S. location entirely. Employees now pour your drink behind the counter, and the cup never touches your hands until it's already full and sealed, ending an era built entirely on trust that one bucket guy ruined for everyone else. Number 3. Airline basic economy restrictions. The cheapest fare on the booking page looks like a win, dramatically lower than every other option on the same flight. Then, you actually try to use it like a normal ticket. No seat selection, meaning you're randomly assigned a middle seat between two strangers with zero say in the matter. No carry-on bag beyond something that fits under the seat in front of you, which rules out a standard rolling suitcase entirely. No changes, no refunds, no flexibility if your plans shift even slightly. Airlines didn't lower prices to be generous. They created an artificially stripped-down version of a normal ticket, specifically so they could sell you back the pieces they removed, one fee at a time. Add a seat assignment, add a real carry-on, add the ability to change your flight without losing the entire fare, and that cheap basic economy ticket quietly climbs back up to match or exceed what a normal fare used to cost outright. The advertised price was never really the price. It was a starting number, designed to look irresistible, engineered to grow the moment you tried to fly like a normal human being. Number 2. Truly unlimited cell data. In the early smartphone era, carriers made a genuinely bold promise: truly unlimited data. Not unlimited with restrictions, but actually unlimited. For a brief, glorious window, people took full advantage. Some canceled their home internet entirely and started using their phones as personal routers, downloading massive files, movies, entire game libraries, treating cellular data like a bottomless well. Cell towers, it turns out, function a lot like a shared meal, and when one person decides to eat the whole thing, Everyone nearby gets nothing. Neighbors started losing calls and web access because someone down the street had quietly turned their phone into a personal Netflix server. Carriers responded by inventing throttling, a polite corporate term for deliberately slowing your connection to a crawl once you cross an invisible data threshold. The word unlimited stayed on the marketing materials. The actual experience changed completely. Now every unlimited plan comes buried under an asterisk the size of a billboard, and the fastest way to get your real speed back is paying more for a higher tier. The exact outcome throttling was quietly designed to produce all along. Number 1. Printer ink cartridge chips. Somewhere inside your printer sits a tiny embedded chip whose entire job is convincing the machine that a cartridge still 90% full of usable ink is actually empty and needs replacing immediately. This isn't a malfunction, it's the business model. Printer manufacturers routinely sell the physical printer itself at a loss, sometimes barely above the cost of parts, because the real profit lives entirely in the ink. Once you own the hardware, you're locked into buying cartridges priced so aggressively that ounce for ounce, printer ink frequently costs more than luxury perfume or even certain vintage champagnes. The chips enforce artificial scarcity, refusing third-party or refilled cartridges even when the ink inside is chemically identical, and flagging cartridges as depleted based on estimated usage rather than what's actually left inside them. Some manufacturers have gone further, using firmware updates to disable cartridges that were previously working perfectly fine, forcing an upgrade nobody asked for. The printer itself was never really the product. It's the permanent, recurring toll booth standing between you and printing a single page, engineered so precisely that replacing the ink can end up costing more than replacing the entire printer itself.